welcome back. If you're new here just stopping by, I'm Buffy with Buffy Designs, where I show you how to give new life to thrift store finds or garage sale finds, or just things around your home that you could flip into something new and more modern, or just to give it a little bit of an uplift to your home. And I just want to welcome you to my channel. This week's video, I have two projects. The first one, I'm going to attempt to make some wax melts for the warmer. And I tend to have allergies, so does my husband, to a lot of the smells with the deodorizers or the warmer wax that you find in the stores. And you know, we get a headache, stuffy, and it's not fun to have that. And I want the house to smell really good and inviting, but they're just overbearing and it's just too strong for us. So I thought I would give my hand at trying to make my own with some essential oils, and hopefully I can make something that makes the house smell really good. So, and on top of it, maybe even help us with any of our allergies. So, you know, if it doesn't work out, then you'll know not to do it for yourself. But I wanted to try and see, and then show you how it's done. The recipe and the directions will be down in the link below as well. And then the next project I bought a couple of cases of some empty candle jars from a woman who was getting rid of her candle business, and she sold them for a good price. So I bought a couple of them, and I thought those would be really cute to turn into those crockery type jars. The idea I got from Julie at Julie Designs and Signs, as well as another person. I can't remember which person that was, and I feel bad because I want to give her credit as well. But they're little crockery stamps, the little rubber stamps that you can put in ink and then adhere it to whatever you want, wood, glass, anything painted, and it makes it look kind of like an old crock. So I love that kind of look, and I thought that would be really cute to give it a try. And also for the Etsy shop I purchased those stamps from, the link will be below as well. I want to give her a shout out because she was a really good seller to work with, and I don't have any link to her. I'm not being paid or anything, but I just wanted to give her a shout out because she was such a good seller. And then once I have that, I'll show you how I decorate it, and then hopefully you come back and see more of what I have in the next couple of weeks. I'm really excited for the next few weeks because I have some really neat ideas to incorporate. So if you are ready to go, let's get to melting that wax, and hopefully it turns out. Thanks. Okay, here are the items that you'll need to make the scented wax melts. Of course, you want wax, beeswax or soy wax, coconut oil, eucalyptus, lavender, and these are all in the recipe below. Peppermint, lemon, and tea tree oil. And then of course you want a Pyrex type cup or a bowl that can withstand heat, and your pan that you're going to put inside and make a double boiler. So once you have those together, then we can go over to start melting the wax. Now it's time to do the wax melts. So first I'm going to get my pot and fill it with 2 inches of water, and then put the Pyrex measuring cup that can withstand heat inside of that water, and then bring it to a simmer. So what it's doing is making a makeshift double boiler. If you have that and you don't care about mixing the wax in it, then that's fine to use as well. I don't have one, so I'm using how the recipe online I found, and the link of that company that I looked up is down below, and also recipes as well. And so I'm just going to put the wax and the oil in. And that's a 1 cup of wax. And I forgot to open the oil. And then it's a 1/4 cup of coconut oil. And there's different ones, different recipes call for different kinds of wax and different kinds of oils. This is just what I had thought would be good. Soy would be really good and smells really natural and kind of a sweet to it, and I didn't think about that, or else I would have bought that. So now we're going to just stir it. And you just want to bring it to a simmer, and of course watch it. You don't want to burn it. Okay, that took a while to melt. So you should probably put it on a little bit higher than just simmer, and watch it and just keep stirring and stirring. And it took me probably about 10 minutes to get it to come down, to melt down. And so now it says to take it off the heat. I'm just going to turn that off, and then of course use your hot pan holder, because it's probably pretty hot, to get it out of there. Okay, so then the recipe that I'm using is the, oh, and I forgot it. Okay, so my phone died right in the middle of taping, of course. So I had to sit this on the double boiler for probably about 10 minutes on the low heat. I turned it up just a little bit, I cheated, and then constantly stirring, because if you don't stir, it will take longer, and then it could burn. But just make sure to constantly stir. And then I put all of the drops in that I needed of the recipe below, and I had to hurry and pour it into the molds because it was going to harden before I could get my phone charged again, so I had to hurry and do that. But as you can see, I did, I bought this mold. It's the silicone molds on Amazon, and I've got that link below. And then I just poured them evenly into each little area, and because this is a new thing for me, I wanted to see how the scent went first. So I wanted to do one batch and see how that goes, and then if I wanted to, I can change it up and do something different with a different scent. And then if I like it, I'll do more. Also, because it's just for me, I just left it natural white wax. There is wax dye that you can use to put in it to color it, make it pretty, and there's also different shape molds that you can buy for like Valentine's Day, or spring looking ones with flowers and birds and stuff. There's all kinds of different shapes, but it's just me. So I don't really mind, and if I was to give it for a gift, I think this would still be cute to just make them this way and stick into a bag that's maybe got a holiday decoration on the bag itself and put a little ribbon on it, and it's still pretty. So we'll let this cool, and then we could see what it smells like later. And I'll show you a picture of it in my wax melt as well, so you can see what it looks like. So that's the wax. That's the beeswax. And then on to the end of the video, I will show you how everything looks and present it to you. So we'll go to that. Thanks. Okay, here are the items you'll need for the country crock jars that I'm doing. These are the stamps that I bought from Etsy, and that link will be down below. And then the jars that I purchased from the lady with the candle company. These are just generic candle jars with lids, and I'm just showing you the seal is there with it. And I'm going to paint both the lids and the jars. This is the Rust-Oleum chalk paint in linen white on Amazon. I'll have that link as well. And some baking soda. And then the chalk paint in black and the stamp ink. I'm going to try both to see what works best. And then of course my chalk brush. So here I've already mixed the paint with the baking soda, and I started painting it on, and I didn't think it was textured enough, so I added more. And after it's all said and done, thinking back, I probably would have been better off with the first mixture instead of adding more. I think it was just a little too textured for me. But again, you know, this is my first time doing it, so I wasn't sure how it was going to come out. So always like maybe do a test project with a piece of glassware that you're not, you don't care about. Test it out to see what texture that you want, and just go from there. You can always add more if you need to. If you do a second coat of this, it gets thicker and stickier, so it ends up being more textured. So keep that in mind as well. So if you want to maybe go over it with just regular chalk paint after you've done the textures, then I think that would work as well. I kind of went through and touched up some spots that where the brush had left on the glass because I didn't want more of the texture on it. But see how I've done the lid as well, and it turned out pretty good. I think, like I said, I'll do them a little bit thinner of texture, not as much. And here is I did the ink. As you can see on the right on the plate, I poured some of that ink, chalk paint in, not ink, I guess chalk paint, black chalk paint, and tried it, and it kind of bunched up. It was a lot harder to do the stamp onto the jar with the chalk paint. It seems to run a lot, but it still looked cute. Just have to be really careful. And I put it in the ink pad, and oh my gosh, it was so much easier. I mean, I didn't have to really dab it off like I did the chalk paint. The chalk paint had way too much on it. I had to like use the paper over there and dab it off, so it would take some off. But this ink pad, see how easy that was? It turned out so much better. So all my future ones will definitely use the ink pad, and I'll have that link of everything that I've used here down below as well. And here's with the lid. And then I decided it needed something, so I put a couple of rows of the twine that I got on Amazon around it, just to give it a little bit more of something to it. And then there's the flowers. I think it turned out cute.